Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Raven here. Today, I'd like to read the two new game systems for From Peasants to Palaces, giving you even more ways to play the game. Starting on page 120, playing with percentiles. With this optional rule, your health point maximum becomes your health point percentage maximum. Whenever attacking, the creature rolls percentiles plus any relevant modifiers and bonuses, and the defending creature rolls percentiles plus any relevant modifiers and bonuses. Whichever total result is higher is applied. If the attacker's result is higher, its attack goes through. If the defender's total result is higher, they block, dodge, defend, etc. Mana pools. Whenever a creature uses anything that requires mana points, that creature's rolls one of their damage dice for their level, spending an amount of mana points equal to the rolled result. A creature's ADR becomes a percentage amount that can be reduced from damage. Damage threshold becomes a percentage amount needed in order for that creature to be hit. Saves against danger become a percentage amount needed to determine if a creature succeeds or fails a save against danger. Example: if the game organizer sets the save against danger to 35 and the creature rolls a 30, then that creature has failed the save against danger. A creature saves against danger, fortitude, reflex, and will count as bonuses towards that type of save against danger. Spell saves against danger become a percentage amount needed to determine if a creature succeeds or fails a spell save against danger. If a creature casts a spell that causes one or more creatures to make a save against danger, then that or those creatures must make save a spell save against danger equal to double the amount of mana points spent in order to cast the spell. Additionally, while using this optional rule, all damage is transformed into percentile damage based on your total character level as follows. At levels 1 through 3, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 4% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d4. At levels 4 through 6, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 6% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d6. At levels 7 through 9, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 8% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d8. At levels 10 through 12, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 10% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d10. At levels 13 through 15, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 12% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d12. At levels 16 through 18, all of your attacks deal between 1 and 20% damage. You determine this by rolling 1d20. At levels 19 through 20, all of your attacks deal between 2 and 40% damage. You determine this by rolling 2d20. In order to land a critical hit on a creature, the attack roll against that creature must beat its defending roll by 10 or more. When this happens, the attack is considered a critical hit and the attacker gets to roll one additional dice, adding the result of all dice rolled together before doubling them to get the total amount of damage for that critical hit. In addition, if your level passes 20th, then your damage increases as it would normally when leveling up while using this optional rule. Example, 21 through 20 through 23 equals an additional 1 through 4% damage, aka an additional 1d4, and so on. Now, let's read the second new game system starting on page 121. Universal D20 system. Doing anything. Whenever attempting to do something, you roll 1d20 plus your highest ability modifier plus any relevant bonuses versus the target chosen number, TCN, rolled/chosen by the game organizer. TCN, 10 equals average difficulty, 15 equals hard difficulty, 20 plus equals very hard. Combat. Initiative. Roll 1d20 plus your highest ability modifier. Armor defense. A creature's ADR, armor damage reduction, now becomes that creature's armor defense. Attack rolls. Roll 1d20 plus your highest ability modifier plus any relevant bonuses versus the target's AD, armor defense. If the roll is equal to or higher than the targeted AD, then the attack goes through. Damage. Based on weapon, ability, spell, etc. See table below. Critical hit. Rolling a natural 20 equals doubling the damage dice and maximizing the damage. Mana saves against danger. Whenever a creature uses a weapon, ability, spell, etc. that requires mana points and that has another creature or creatures make a save against danger, the difficulty of that save against danger is equal to 1d20 plus half the amount of mana points spent. Resting. Healing. Whenever a creature takes a short rest, 1 through 4 hours, that creature regains an amount of health and mana points equal to 1 plus its highest ability modifier. Additionally, whenever a creature takes a long rest, 5 through 12 plus hours, that creature regains an amount of health and mana points equal to 5 plus its highest ability modifier. In addition, if a creature takes 7 in-game days to long rest, then that creature regains all of its health and mana points. And then this is the flat damage to rolling dice conversion chart. 1 through 100. And there is one of the maps for one of the islands of this campaign. We've got flat damage, dice equivalency, and average. Output. 1 through 4 equals 1d4, 5 through... This is the flat damage, this is the damage equivalent for the dice. 1 through 4 is 1d4, 5 through 7 is 1d6, 8 through 10 is 1d8, 11 through 13 is 1d10, 14 through 16 is 1d12, 17 through 24 is 1d20, 25 through 30 is 2d12, 31 through 36 is 2d20, 37 through 44 is 3D20, 45 through 52 is 4020, 53 through 60 is 5D20, 61 through 70 is 6D20, 71 through 80 is 7D20, 81 through 90 is 8D20, and 91 through 100 is 9 through 10 D or plus D20. I hope this has been a good enough overview of the two newest systems within From Peasants to Palaces. This now gives us System 1, System 2, System 3, the solo play system, and these two. So I hope you all enjoy, and you can play From Peasants to Palaces with any of these systems in any way and have as much fun as possible for years to come. Like, subscribe, and join us on our adventures.